fish in there. Everybody ready? Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Wade Gorley, Chief of Police, Oklahoma City Police Department. We're here today to talk about something that's been about a 3-year project coming together, and something that's very exciting, not only for the police department, but for the community, for public safety in general, and that's our real-time information center. This has been a labor across many departments within the city, locations that include our city Information Technology Department. We're very instrumental in this. And what you're going to see today, there is a lot of technology on the back side of this that you don't see. What you're looking at when we tour the center later and we talk about what the center is going to do is just a small piece of the puzzle. So part of the reasoning we're doing this today is for transparency and to educate the public as to what this technology will allow us to do. And I'm going to have Major Samuel come up here in just a minute and talk more about those technological aspects and the role of the Real-Time Information Center itself. But for us, it's one of the biggest things in this is that it will help us be make better use of our resources out in the field, our patrol officers, our investigators. It will enhance our abilities to solve crimes, to get eyes on situations so that we may not even have to send a police officer out to begin with. So we're going to start this morning. We're going to show you a quick video that just kind of talks about some of the capabilities that are here, and then after that video, Major Samuel will come up and talk a little bit more about the center itself. So thank you again for being here.
Of your emergency?
I need help. My daughter's missing. I can't find her.
Ma'am, please tell me where you're at.
I'm at the Marion Gardens right now. Right now I'm down by the pond. I saw her maybe a couple of minutes ago. I don't know where she is.
Okay, what is her name?
Her name's Kaylee. She's never done anything like this before. Please send somebody. I can't find her.
Okay, ma'am, I just need to get some basic information.
With a missing child, every minute counts. It's important that officers get the information as quickly as possible so we can locate the child. The Real-Time Information Center, as law enforcement evolves, we want to still be able to ensure that
Mom is still on dispatch.
Do we have a description?
6-year-old girl, blonde hair.
Can mom send us a photo?
They could contact the parents directly and speak to them by phone and maybe get the recent photo that they were wearing that day. We could get a photo so officers can have a more accurate detail of what the child looks like.
Okay, we have a photo of the girl. Now we know what to look for.
Okay, we have several cameras in the area. Let me see if I can find her.
By the community registering your cameras with the police departments, we can quickly pull up and say, there's a camera at this location, and we can send officers directly to get the child back safer.
Okay, I see her. She's at the fountain on the north side of the gardens.
The real-time information center allows us to have a force multiplier, and they're directly communicating with the officers and get them accurate and detailed information. Arctic just allows all the technology that's available to us as a more of a tools and resources to assist law enforcement to ensure that the public is being safe.
Good morning. I'm Major Jason Samuel with the Special Operations Division. As the chief alluded, it's been about a 3-year process in the making of this, and we want to make sure we're, one, fiscally responsible and ensure we're doing it the right way. We toured multiple real-time information centers across the country. We've been to several conferences that focuses on real-time information centers, and we kind of looked at what the best practices were, what did work, what didn't work. Many agencies, or some agencies, may use all police officers within the real-time information. Some use all civilian senior crime analysts within the crime information center. And so we've kind of morphed that, and we have a mix of both. We feel like that's the most advantageous way to get everything out there. It'll be staffed with our senior crime analyst, and also an investigator or an officer will be assigned in there too, so they can help communicate with the officers and get that information out as quickly as possible. They'll also be working hand in hand with dispatchers and 911. It's kind of like the chief said, it's a force multiplier as far as just getting more information out there quicker. 911 can focus on speaking to the person calling into 911, and then we can focus on getting that information out to officers as quickly as possible and gathering more detailed and accurate information. One thing that we do want to do is be transparent. Everything that's done within the Arctic, there's a log of every activity that's done within the cameras. The Arctic itself is limited to personnel just assigned to the Arctic itself, or real-time information center. And then any actions that are taken on specific incidents, the analyst will log that information so that information is always available. A lot of questions are arisen about where the cameras will be located. All of our current cameras are in public spaces, within public view, major intersections, things like that. Some of the goals of the Arctic, obviously, is to increase effectiveness and accuracy of the police response. Many times, as officers are responding, we're getting information from the 911, and there's kind of a delay from getting to the 911 call taker and then coming back to the dispatcher, then getting to the officer. Well, as the call comes in, the real-time information center can pull up any cameras in the area, get more detailed information, and pass that on to officers. For instance, if you have an armed robbery at a convenience store, sometimes we may get information the suspect's driving a gray pickup. Well, we don't want to stop every gray pickup driving throughout the city. So the analyst can pull up any cameras in that area, may get an actual picture of the vehicle and know that it's a Dodge pickup, and maybe even get a tag number. And so that'll also help with unwanted contacts and unneeded contacts, and we can focus on more who the actual suspect is. The analyst can also send out information to officers as they respond. You know, like you saw in the video with the child, they can send out pictures of the child. If we're responding to a school, this platform that we're using, which is called Fusus, it has a map overlay, so we're able to pull up the map of the actual school. So if the officers are responding to a disturbance or an incident within a school, and it's in room 32, well, officers aren't going to know where room 32 is. So we can pull up that information, send a map to officers, and we can get to that room as quickly as possible, because time is always of the essence. Some of the successes that we've had already, just the other day we had an Alzheimer patient who left in a vehicle. They didn't know where they were, so the analysts were able to put that tag information into our automatic license plate reader, and then they started locating that vehicle, found it in the area, and the Alzheimer patient was ultimately found at a safe location within the city, and we're able to get her back home safely. This is a community partnership, and we encourage the citizens and businesses to be a part also, and how that can take place is through our website. There's multiple ways that citizens can become involved. One is by registering the cameras, and that's free. There's no cost to that, and what that does is it lets us know where the cameras are located at someone's residence. It also gives us good, quick contact information so we can get a hold of the person that lives at that residence as quickly as possible. A good example is a few months ago when they had the Amber Alert with the child who was inside the car was stolen. If some of those cameras were registered in the areas, we could quickly get a hold of those citizens and see if we can get more information and try and figure out where this car was going. Businesses and citizens can also assist if they want to integrate the cameras. There is a cost to that, but it is a great benefit to not only the community but to the businesses to where we can have access to those cameras. All that is controlled through how the business wants that to happen. But it's a great tool for if we're responding to an area or to a business and we have access to those cameras. It can allow us to get real, accurate, live information to the officers as quickly as possible. I'd like to thank a couple of partners that's already partnered with us. One being Trinity Schools up here on North Walker. They've already integrated their cameras with us, along with the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum. So I want to thank them for that. There is a website that you can, citizens can go to find out more information. It's connectoklahomacity.org, and we'll get that information to you later. But it kind of talks about how the registry works. It also covers integration and costs associated. It also has a fax page where a lot of questions that come up about privacy and how the system works, and it talks about there's a panic function on there that can be used also. So that's about all I have, and thank you for your time, and I guess we'll answer some questions now.
Thank you, Major Samuel. Also, the last thing he touched on about, privacy concerns and things like that are really one of the main reasons we're here today, and being transparent with this is that, this has to follow the same guidelines that any other police equipment does. And as he said before, these cameras are in public spaces where people travel. The camera locations are, a lot of times people think, well, you put cameras where crime is happening, and that is true, but we also need cameras all around the city, major intersections, because we know persons committing crimes travel throughout the city. And also, those who may be victims and missing persons, as you saw, children, things like that. So it's important to have cameras in as many different points around the city as we can. So with that, if you guys have any questions at all, we'll take those.
Is this monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or you have, how many people are monitoring this, or in the real-time information center?
So our goal is eventually to get to 24-hour monitoring. Again, this is a big undertaking, a lot to it. So right now, we're only be available part of the day with analysts, and then usually there's one sworn personnel in there and 2 analysts that are in the Arctic monitoring, and they can pull up CAD calls. They have radios so they can hear what's going on out there. I was up there watching them work, one time recently, I think it was last week, and a call had come up about a domestic, and they were providing information to that officer that officer would normally not have, just by research and things that they were doing. So it's not just about cameras and that visual set of eyes on, it's about what those analysts are able to do and information they can pull up that may help the officer when they get out there, help them from going into a dangerous situation, or knowing that, maybe there's not a crime there, things like that. So it's going to be very helpful.
I guess some people might consider this very big brother-ish in the community. What do you have to say about just citizens' privacy?
So the biggest thing is, again, like I said, is these cameras, what they're doing, it's all things that are available, publicly, spaces. They're not in people's homes. It doesn't negate the fact that we still have to get search warrants and those kind of things too. The registering of the cameras is entirely dependent on the residents themselves. If they want to do that, they don't have to. You know, we don't have to have access to their cameras, the same with businesses. So there's that element there, I think, and especially, you know, once you see it and see what it is. And one of the biggest things that I tell people is there's cameras everywhere now. I mean, you can't go anywhere without being on a camera. So this is no different than that. It doesn't negate your rights to privacy within your home and those things that are still there. So that's probably the best answer I could give to that.
Chief, I was wondering if you could just speak to the importance of technology in fighting crime in general and how this maybe ties into the evolution of it and how it's changed over the years. This seems like a pretty big step forward for technology for you guys.
It is. For us, technology, number one, is we're like every other law enforcement agency around the country. We struggle with recruiting, retention, and, you know, getting more officers out on the street. So you have to learn to do more with less, and technology allows you to do that. Also, you have to become advanced in your crime fighting because the criminals and those that are committing crimes are using technology to their advantage as well. So we have to try to stay ahead of that game and do everything we can to, you know, to try to limit that workload. And if you think about, you know, a crime that happens, you know, whether it be a shooting or a nonviolent larceny, something to that effect, and the amount of time that it takes in human hours to track down leads and do all of those things. And so if you have technology that can help cut that down, it really helps. And probably the biggest thing too that kind of goes to your question about Big Brother is it doesn't negate the need for those officers, because we still have to follow the law in how we develop those cases, probable cause, and all of those things. This is just another piece of the puzzle. But if it can help guide us in a direction of building our case, it's gonna cut down on those man hours that it normally takes to do that.
If there's no more questions, could you review the highlights of your presentation for me, please?
You want to kind of review again since she just got here?
Just rewind everything and start over.
No, just kind of give an overview.
No, I mean, it's been about a 3-year process developing this. We toured multiple different agencies that already have real-time information centers that are available, and we looked at what their best practices were, what worked for them, what didn't work. Some agencies use all officers within their real-time information center. Some use just all criminal analysts, and so we're kind of doing a hybrid version of that. And so we'll have criminal analysts who are great force multiplier for officers out there. They're able to gather information and use their technology to gather things. And then also we'll have an officer inside there with them also working hand in hand. Some of the benefits of it, you know, it gets more accurate and detailed information out there for officers as they're responding to calls to ensure that we're reacting properly. It also helps alleviate unwanted or unneeded contacts at the same time. There may be times when there's a disturbance on the street, and we can pull up those cameras and realize, you know, there's really nothing going on. It's just people standing in the street. Instead of sending 5 officers to that location because we think there's a fight or something going on, we can notify the officers that really there's nothing going on. Either we can cancel the call or we can just send 1 officer, and those officers can be reallocated to that location. Citizens can join and be a part of it too. It's going to be a partnership with citizens. They can register cameras for free, so it just lets us know that they have cameras at their location. So if a crime does occur, instead of us having to go door to door to door, we can quickly contact the citizens either by phone or even go to their house. But also it gives them an advantage because they can download their video footage directly to a website or to our evidence system without even having to have police contact. So it just makes us more effective overall. Businesses can also, or even citizens if they wish to, they can integrate their cameras. There is a cost associated with that, but that gives them access to their videos through that system also. There are a couple community partners that's already joined in, and that's Trinity School and the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum. I think that's about everything.
So this is already being implemented?
Yes, we had a test phase we've been slowly building it up. We try to be as physically as responsible as possible. We've been using our own personnel to install cameras just to save money. We also have just kind of tried to slow the process. Many agencies spend millions and millions of dollars on large, big rooms, and we tried to focus more on the system itself and integrating all those, the cameras and the license plate readers and computer automated dispatch, and then also the location of the officers, the GPS of the officers, and the maps of the different buildings. And so we wanted to focus more on that because we thought the technology side of it was most important to give the best benefit not only to the officers but to the citizens.
You mind saying your name, rank, and spelling for me?
Major Jason Samuel, JASONSAMUEL. And we can go up to, since there's only a few of us, I think we can all just go at once. Did y'all leave, I guess, or did somebody? Okay. But we'll go up to unless y'all have more questions. We can go upstairs to the Arctic. They are live, so we're just have to kind of be quiet, but I'll be happy to answer any questions and kind of just go through everything with you.